Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Zmore, the dad in DPS, and we are back with another weapon in Cyberpunk 2077. And today, we're using the Divided We Stand. Now, if you can see on this weapon, it's very similar to the previous one we used, the Ying Long, but it has, instead of the electrical damage, the poison chance. On top of that, it does have a chance of chemical explosions going off as well. And you can see the Ying Long here. You know, very similar effects, but different type of damage, essentially. But before we get into it, let's find out where we can get this weapon. Now, the location that you can find the weapon is in Santo Domingo. You can see it on the map here. And on top of that, there is the quest Stadium Love, which is where you get this weapon. Now, essentially what you're going to do from this point is you are going to go to the top of the roof where there is a 6th Street gang party. And they're having a shooting contest, and you're going to take part. There are 4 rounds, and you need to hit most of the targets. You need to get at least 44 points, otherwise you will not win. But if you do get 44 points, you will win the Divided We Stand. Alternatively, you can just slaughter everyone here and just take it by force. Now, obviously, when it comes to smart weapons and smart guns in general, I would heavily recommend that you use them in tandem with quick hacks. These weapons are at their peak when you're using them with quick hacks, because that's the way they're kind of designed to do additional damage when enemies have quick hacks on them. You lock on quicker, you do more damage, all those kind of things. So if you are going to use any of the smart guns, I would recommend using it as basically a netrunner build. On top of that, it's actually just kind of fun. It's one of those things where when it comes to any type of build you're using, I would recommend that you have, oh, that's made me jump over that, you have multiple things in your arsenal. And when it comes to this, I don't think that net running is necessarily the only thing you should be using, because enemies can get round it very easily. They can hide behind walls. They can basically just get lucky shots in if they get close. But using this weapon in tandem with that is very good. And you've seen like the poison explosions going off, and that will obviously do AoE damage. And then there's the cases where I can't get a good look on the enemies because they're behind walls and things like that, but this will allow me to lock on and eventually kill them that way. But you're seeing the kind of full extent of this weapon. On top of that, you do have the fact that you can enter your overclock state, which is going to give you a bit more of a buff to your damage and your lock on and your ability to absolutely shred through enemies with this. And it just guarantees headshots. And you're seeing once they fall down, once they get hit by those attacks, they are just sitting ducks. Overall, I think this weapon is incredibly effective. And when it comes to biological targets, you're seeing that it causes them to die pretty quickly. However, against your mechanical opponents such as drones and robots, you're probably better off using the Ying Long, because this is definitely really effective against biologicals, but not so much against mechanicals. So overall, I think the Divided We Stand is a pretty decent weapon. And if you compare it to the other one that I reviewed, the Ying Long, its attack speed is a little bit less, its damage is more, and its effective range is kind of higher and things like that. So overall, I think in terms of raw damage, Divided We Stand is definitely the better weapon to go for. You know, it has better ammo capacity, all those kind of things. But on top of that, it does have like an aesthetic change to the Ying Long. Like the Ying Long is quite plain, quite basic, but the Divided We Stand has the great kind of thing of, you know, as that yeehaw American like aesthetic. Overall, I think it's a very effective weapon and definitely worth using if you're going to use a smart rifle build. On top of that, for anybody that might end up commenting about it, if you cannot see the Stadium Love quest at the current point you're at in the game, then there is a good chance that maybe you're not high level enough, maybe you don't have enough street cred, so level up a bit more and come back to that in the future. Some things are locked behind, you know, essentially the game and leveling up. As you can see, I'm at 50 street cred and my level is 39, so I have leveled up a chunk. so I am able to access quite a lot of the content in the game. So if you are having trouble finding this quest, finding this weapon, then it's probably just a case of you need to level up a bit more, which makes the Yinglong a kind of really easy early game version of a smart rifle, because you can actually find it just as you start the game. Either way guys, that is today's video. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, of course, and we will catch you next time in Night City.